Good afternoon, and thank you for attending, and thank you for watching the Board County Commissioners Board meeting for June 4th, 2019. And by way of introductions, I'm John Hutchings, Chair of the Board. To my left is Vice Chair Gary Edwards. To my right is Commissioner Ty Menser. To his right is Labonita Bomar, our Clerk of the Board. And to her right is the Assistant County Manager, Robin Campbell. To her right is Deputy Prosecuting Attorney Elizabeth Petrich. And I'm slowing down so I can introduce the County Manager, Ramiro Chavez.
Thank you.
And so with that, we're going to, the meeting has been called to order, and we'll begin with the Pledge of Allegiance led by Commissioner Menser. Please stand.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America
and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you. And having just said that, remember June 14th is Flag Day, and there's a, at the Lacey Flag Pavilion, there's a ceremony going on at, I believe, 1600 at 4 p.m. So looking for an approval for today's agenda.
I would move to approve the Tuesday, June 4th, 2019 agenda.
Second?
It's been moved and seconded to approve today's agenda. Any additions or pulls or changes?
No, sir.
Nope. All right, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. It carries. Approval of the board meeting minutes from May 21, 2019.
I would approve of the board meeting minutes from May 21st, 2019.
Second the motion?
Okay, it's been moved and seconded. Is any changes need to be made?
No, sir.
Okay, then all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. And those are approved. Now it's presentation time. And we have a presentation or proclamation for National LGBTQ Pride Month. And County Manager, you're going to...
Yeah, thank you, Commissioners. I would like to invite to the podium Mr. Lucas Miller. He's from the Capital City Pride. And I think he will be able to provide some perspective, and you will have the opportunity to talk with him about this proclamation.
Okay. Come on up. There we go. So Anna Schleck, are you going to present? You're going to
Please
say
introduce yourselves. Yeah.
Good afternoon, Commissioner Hutchings and Honorable County Commission and citizens of Thurston County. First and foremost, I'd like to start by saying my name is Anna Schlecht and I'm here on vacation. I'm taking a 1-hour vacation this afternoon, and it's lovely to vacation in Thurston County. I am here as a longtime supporter of Capital City Pride, which has been in existence for approximately 28 years, since 1991, celebrating LGBTQ Pride with our friends, family, and allies. And I have to say, what a difference 20 years makes, 28 years makes. In the beginning, it was a protest and a march. Now it's a parade and a celebration. That we still have a long ways to go in some of our equality issues. We're still facing issues around transgender health, non-discrimination in hiring practices. But we are, I think I can speak on behalf of the people here who are representing Pride, and one of your county employees who happens to be my size and borrowed one of my t-shirts. I think we've all chosen to live here because this is one of the most LGBT affirming places in the United States. It doesn't happen overnight. It doesn't happen just because of pride parades. It happens because folks like yourselves make sure that we pass progressive policy, that we uphold progressive policy, that citizens do the right thing every day, that people hire and promote people on the basis of what they're able to do, not what their gender identity or sexual orientation is. And it's families who raise kids in a way that makes them honor diversity. I had the pleasure of visiting my 3 grandbabies this weekend, and I'm very happy to know that their generation is going to grow up being able to make choices and not have to go through the world the way I did 60-some years ago and feel that I did not have a future. So I just want to say thank you to all of you, because it takes an entire community to build the support and acceptance that makes our Pride Festival and Parade possible. So thank you.
Thank you. Do you want to introduce everybody then?
Oh, I'm sorry. To my immediate left, we have Terry Walden, who is part of the Pride Committee. Luke Miller,
Lucas Miller.
who is also part of the Pride Committee. And then Keely Marino, who is one of your employees. And I would just like to say that it's really important that it's safe for people to be out. That's one of the things that Thurston County makes sure that people feel that they can be who they are in the workplace. There are many other folks that are involved in Pride. They have these day jobs that don't give them 1-hour vacations like mine does. And on behalf of all of them, we thank you.
Thank you, and thank you all for coming in today, too. We'll read a proclamation here in a moment. Do you have any comments you want to make?
No, thanks for being here. The Pride event is a great event, and I was able to participate last year, and hope to do the same this year. And
Comments?
support.
I guess I'll take a little commissioner's prerogative here, and we do the pledge every meeting, and justice for all, as it says on the wall there. It just kind of says it all. And I like to refer to a citizen that had a rough time years ago, Rodney King, and he said, can't we just all get along? And I think that is pretty much the whole deal. Can't we all just get along? Just think what a good place this would be if we could all make that happen. Anyway.
Well, no, I get to say something.
Oh, okay. I'm sorry, sir.
I'm done. But again, want to thank you all for being here. And like you said, Ann, it takes quite a few people to make this change. It doesn't happen overnight. And it takes a lot of conversion of faith on many people's parts in the community. But it really hits home when it hits home. And then you get real true support out there. Not that the others are not true supporters, but you know what I mean? It becomes more personal, and you get really involved. So thank you all for being here. Now we have a proclamation to read.
Okay. Whereas equality of opportunity and freedom from discrimination are among the basic, inalienable moral rights of every person, and whereas our nation was founded upon principles that every person has been created equal, that each has rights to life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness, and that each shall be accorded the full recognition and protection of law. And whereas the month of June is designated as Pride Month to commemorate the Stonewall riots in June of 1969, and are generally recognized as the catalyst for the lesbian, gay, bisexual, transgender, and queer rights movement. And whereas Thurston County is strengthened by and thrives upon the rich diversity of ethnic, cultural, racial, gender, and sexual identities of its residents, all of which contribute to the vibrant character of our county. Now therefore be it resolved, the Board of Thurston County Commissioners hereby proclaim the month of June 2019 as National LGBTQ Pride Month, and encourage all Thurston County citizens to celebrate the progress within our culture towards justice, equality, and full civic recognition for LGBTQ persons. Adopted this 4th day of June, 2019.
Now we have a proclamation to hang on. There, we have a copy of the proclamation for an award, and come on up, we'll get a picture taken. And the flag is out front, by the way, in front of the courthouse.
It's flying for the whole week.
Yep. Oop, there you go. There you go, sir. You're supposed to put your arms out, and I lay across your arms, I think, don't I? Let me get in behind you here, so I'm in the middle, or someone's in the middle. There we go. Can you get us all in?
Yep, good job. All right, 1, 2, 3. Let's get a couple more. 1, 2, 3. Perfect.
It was okay to put my hand on you. I didn't think to ask you.
Thanks for coming by.
All right, yay, thank you, thank you, thank you. Hugs,
Now you go back.
hugs all around. Good to see you, buddy. Good to see you. Thank you. Thank you very much. Thank you. Thanks, Anna. Yes, ma'am. All right, that takes us to the part of the agenda now where it's the opportunity for the public to address the board. And so I'll read the rules of engagement. And that is, this is the time where the public addresses the board. We don't engage in question and answer or discussion. We just listen and we take notes and have staff or the county manager, someone do follow-up when it's appropriate. And so we don't respond to comments. Speakers are limited to 3 minutes to address the board. You're not allowed to donate your speaking time to another person. The board reserves the right to restrict a person's opportunity to address the meeting for good cause. Please silence your cell phones. No comments that are lewd or offensive to a reasonable person. Please, we ask you be respectful. No outbursts of any kind. No comments that are commercial in nature, such as a promotion for a for-profit business. No comments that are inflammatory, hateful, defamatory, or discriminatory, and any and all materials provided to the county may be considered public records, subject to public record release upon request pursuant to the Public Records Act, Chapter 42.56 of RCW. And if you have anything you'd like to be submitted, please supply it over here to the county manager or assistant county manager. Remarks about pending land use permits or similar matters that could eventually come before the board are not allowed at this time either. So with that, what I will do is I will call you up. The first person, I'll explain the board in a minute. The first person, I'll ask the next person to come and stand in the batter's box, so we just keep that progressive going. And La Bonita Bomar has the timer. The timer's up here. And when it clicks down or ticks down to 0, you'll hear a buzz. That means your time's up. That doesn't mean stop mid-sentence. Go ahead and finish your sentence, but please don't take advantage of the time and go on for another 1, 2, or 3 minutes. So with that, first to come up is Shelley. Number one, I need to applaud everybody because I can read every one of these names. They're very legible. I just love that. Well, I think so. Shelley Dilworth, followed by John Pettit.
Hello, Commissioners. How are you?
Fine, thank you, ma'am.
So I'm coming to you today. I've come in a couple times. I've talked to you in this forum, and I've met individually with you. I'm coming to you because I am on your website. I do get the updates that you guys are looking at, revising some codes, looking at some codes, going through some things. There's a few things that I'd like to bring to your attention because my husband and I are in the process of building on our property. We did buy the old fire station off of Delphi and 101st. We have, so far it's been a little over 2 years since we started this process of trying to build our home on that property and establish our business. We own a tree service. 2 years for me seems to be quite a long time to only get a permit from this county to try to start building on our land out there that we purchased. And so I have a few questions. And I understand that you cannot answer my questions now, and I don't expect that you do. I will be emailing you individually later, and I will expect an answer to those questions individually later to give you time to digest that and answer me specifically. Some of the questions that I will be addressing is, in your codes you say you have to have a home-based business, but you cannot build your home at the same time as having your business on that property. How do you accomplish that? I would like to know what's the process. Right now, that's where we're being held up. We don't have a home on our property, but we do have a business, and we've been in business since 1992. So how do we accomplish this? And have you looked at the cost of doing both of those two things simultaneously? What's the cost for the permits, the special use permits? What's the cost of getting the drainage engineers, all of the site preps, all of the extra costs that are outside of your permit fees? And is that a reasonable expectation for the county to place on an individual citizen at one time? I don't think so. And I can tell you because I work outside of the home. My husband has a business, and we are struggling to meet those needs that the county is placing on us as a citizen, as a homeowner, doing business in this county. And that's unreasonable. And that's what I came here today. Again, I will forward this email to you asking specific questions, and I would appreciate an answer back because I have not gotten it from your Permit Assistance Office. So thank you for your time today.
Thank you. John Pettit, followed by Rob Kirkwood.
Good afternoon, Commissioners. My name is John Pettit. I live out in East Olympia. And as you have previously been aware, there are certain issues which especially I bring forth. Today I'm going to talk primarily about your proposed future courthouse. We already know, and I've made it very clear for the record, I am totally opposed to a 39.5% tax increase for the general fund in order to pay for the courthouse or proposed courthouse. I understand that based upon the way the law is, you could not actually have that type of levy lift for a 25-year span unless a courthouse facility was built, but your provisions suggest otherwise in your proposed ordinance. What you have been given today is I have given you a little map. Now, you may or may not be aware, but my background is real estate and development as such, and building. On this particular site that you have chosen to be the honored, wonderful site, it is a total contradiction to the very essence of what you present yourselves to be. The reason why I say that is because one of the things that Thurston County is so proud of is their fish passages. Being able to take out culverts or enlarge and make things better for the environment. This site has a line that runs through it here, which is actually a culvert that goes directly underneath some of the current facilities that are there. Now you're going to tear them down, but this is a creek. The Indian and Moxie Creek combined and go underneath there. You'll see that there's 820 feet approximately of line that's all buried underneath here for a creek. You know what it costs to change culverts out. And why would anybody with any type of knowledge decide we want to build a $300 million courthouse over the top of a creek? It has actually been brought forth that that property should be dug out and expose the creek to the natural environment like it was. This particular site is probably the absolute worst choice of a site you could ever choose based upon the environmental aspects to it. So that being said, yes, I'm opposed to the courthouse being built, but I want to make it note, I'm very opposed to the idea that you're going to proceed forward when you know information that you should say, we made a mistake, that doesn't work, we're going to abandon the process where we're at, and we'll look to other places and other means if we want to move forward with changing the courthouse facility. Thank you.
Jeff Kirkwood, followed by Jeff. No?
Rob.
Oh, I'm sorry, yeah. So you're Jeff.
I'm Rob.
You're Rob. You're Jeff. So I'm changing you to a no. That's good, because I couldn't pronounce your last name. Campo?
That's right.
Okay. Thank you. Okay, now I got that. Rob, go ahead.
Hello, I'm Rob Kirkwood with the Old Brew House Foundation. Some friends and I stopped by to encourage you to...
Oh, get the mic right up there and speak right into it, Rob. Thank you.
I'm Rob Kirkwood with the Old Brew House Foundation. Some friends and I stopped by today to remind you that we've met with you individually, and we'd like to meet with you on a larger forum to talk about the opportunities to rebuild the Old Brew House into a public facility and connect it with the farmers market, with the rail. And that's really about all I got to say. So I left some brochures, and I can leave some brochures for people here in the crowd if they want them.
Yep, we got them. Thank you.
Can you give me that information? I will arrange a briefing.
You will. Thank you.
Can you give me your
Oh,
information,
yes,
please?
yes.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Get your house.
All right, so I got Kyle Gronke, okay, and then followed by Gregory Moe.
Hi, my name is Kyle Gronke, and I'm one of the Summit Lake Special District petitioners. I'd like to start off by thanking you to allow this process to move forward. As the authors of the petition, Ryan Keller, Kylie Gustafson, and I have spent countless hours working to better the Summit Lake and address the water quality issues it faces. We'd also like to provide you with a quick update on our efforts and address a couple concerns. Commissioner Edwards expressed concern about the voting process of a special district, specifically not everyone getting their chance to vote. We have contacted the county auditor's office and were assured as long as the property owner is a registered Washington voter, they will get a ballot. The details are also clearly spelled out in RCW 8538010. This means the vote is not limited to full-time residents, and just about everyone will have their voices heard. The timing of the vote also works very well as most lake residents are present during the summer months. Commissioner Edwards also mentioned the importance of better understanding the issue. He mentioned that at Lawrence Lake, where he lives, the first step was hiring an environmental engineering firm to conduct a lake study, also known as a lake management plan. This would also be the first proposed action of the Summit Lake Special District. As one lake resident said, we simply cannot make informed decisions without actual information. As the August 6th ballot is quickly approaching, we are doing our best to get out information to the community. We are sending out weekly emails, holding multiple community outreach events, putting together a doorbelling effort, and continually encouraging residents to come to us with questions. We have also developed a website full of information about the special district and a frequently asked questions section that is routinely updated. We want to make sure that everyone has the facts about what a special district is, what our water quality improvement goals are, and who we are. We want the residents of Summit Lake to be able to make an informed decision and have their voices heard. Again, I would like to thank you for the opportunity to address the concerns and provide you with an update of our efforts. Please also feel free to contact us with any questions. And
All right.
I included
Thank
a
you.
contact info on there.
Great, thank you, sir.
Yeah.
Do you have a number or something you could leave with the county manager?
Yeah.
I believe, yeah,
Okay, thanks.
thank you.
And Gregory. There you are. Yes, sir.
Good afternoon, Commissioners.
Good afternoon.
Gregory Moe with Thurston County Realtors, and I live out the Lure Beach area of Thurston County District.
Thank you, sir.
3. As Commissioner Hutchins mentioned, this coming, or not this, but next Friday, June 14th, is Flag Day. And I'm here to invite you and all the residents of Thurston County and everybody in the world, if they can make it, to join us at the Flag Pavilion in Lacey. It's in the Applebee's parking lot adjacent to Sears. We have Lacey Fire Department, LFD3, and Olympia Fire Department bringing their ladder trucks to hoist their, it's probably 20 by 30 or 30 by 40 foot huge flag. It's quite a spectacle. We have Cannoneer going to be there, Honor Guard playing taps. Former Secretary of State Commissioner Ralph Monroe will be speaking, as will Kevin Gordon, the president of Thurston County Realtors for 2019. So if you can make it, do it. And if you know Cub Scouts, Boy Scouts, Girl Scouts, any civic groups, et cetera, they're welcome to attend as well. 4 o'clock, Thursday, June 14th, at Applebee's parking lot, Flag Pavilion.
Very good.
Thank you.
Thank you.
However, it's Friday,
Friday, yes.
the 14th. Thanks, Gregory. Now, that's the exhaustive list. Is there others that have signed up?
I
Okay.
thought I saw somebody signing up.
Okay, so no. Is there anybody that would like to address the board that has not signed up, that hasn't spoken already? All right, good, thank you. That takes us to item number 2 on the agenda, the county manager's update.
Thank you, Commissioners. Let me allow me to follow up on past public testimony you received. The last time it was 2 weeks ago, and the public testimony you received, one was 2 elements of Mr. Pettit's testimony at that time. One was related to the Henderson Shellfish Protection Area. And based on his public testimony, the county will not be responding formally at this point until legal action that he mentioned in his testimony will be filed. And also the second part of his testimony, he provided to me a report of the county budget related to expenditures on county facilities. And I believe he's working with the Assistant County Manager, Robin Campbell, in an attempt to answer his questions. The second part of you received some public testimony, not just last meeting, but a couple meetings ago from Mr. Tibetan. And he was asking us to the status of the draft HCP. I'd like to inform Mr. Tibetan that last Thursday, May 30th, 2019, Commissioner Hutchins and myself met with the leadership of the regional leadership from the U.S. Fish and Wildlife, and when he provided an update as to the terms and conditions, how they're going to be planning to respond to the draft habitat conservation plan the county submitted, I believe, last July in 2018. I believe the meeting was encouraging. And I believe the meeting was an attempt to work together as to how we can achieve a final habitat conservation plan. That is the update that we have. At this point, we really don't have a formal response from U.S. Fish and Wildlife, but we should be expecting that hopefully in the next couple of weeks or so. And if you like, at that point when we receive that letter, I can share that with you, if you like, and just to keep you informed. Also, you received some public testimony from Mr. Weaver in the Rochester area. And his testimony was related to the title elimination process that we have in place. And he submitted to you 8 different properties. And the title elimination process that we have in place is related to the manufacturing home placement permit. And in his testimony, as a result, I believe he's representing some manufacturing homeowners, 8 properties in total, where he stated the county couldn't find the permits associated with those 8 properties. Staff has been working on this, and they have been able to find 7 out of the 8 titles on that regard. And I believe CPED, the Community Planning and Economic Development staff, is working directly with Mr. Beaver to address his concerns. And I believe he is working also on a resolution of that. I believe there is a path forward to address his concerns related to those 8 particular properties. But also during the research of his properties, we realized that perhaps the title elimination inspection process needs to be brought back as part of the normal county process. So the director of the community development in CPED will be working on developing an internal policy that will address the title elimination inspection process that will include life and safety inspections. Those may be including the footing and blocking of those manufacturing homes, the skirting of those manufacturing homes, they tie down, that is important, and the landing also will be part of that. So I believe that we have worked through the process of addressing Mr. Weaver's concern, as well as I'd like to thank him, because via his testimony, put us in a position to reassess the process that we have in place and enhance the process that we have to serve the citizens of the county. Any questions?
Any questions?
No, sir.
I'll just make a comment on regarding the meeting we had with leadership from Fish and Wildlife, I went a little bit dubious, but I also had the same impression as the county manager has, that it was very encouraging and prosperous, and I'm convinced that that U.S. Fish is diligently working and studying our HCP draft plan and trying to sort out the details. And so I look forward to that letter coming to us imminently. Okay, then with that, we're moving on to agenda item number 3, which is the consent calendar, consent items A and B.
Okay, prior to making a motion, I'd just like the public to know that as we move forward, not only on the consent items, but on several other items on the agenda today, if you really want to see the discussions that go into this, you'll have to watch our live streaming during our work sessions, mainly this morning on a lot of these topics. But those are available for the public to attend or to watch on TV starting at 9 o'clock on Tuesday mornings. Live streaming, I don't know if it's on TV, it's on computer.
Yeah, if they can, on the county's website, there is a link as to how
Right.
they can see.
So
not
it looks
just
like
the-
we don't put much thought into these as we vote on them, but we've had a lot of discussion on these issues. Anyway, I would like to move to approve consent items A and B.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded to approve consent items A and B. Any discussion on those items?
No, sir.
Okay, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye, that motion carries. And moving into department items now, agenda item number 4, Public Works, request for approval of an ILA with TRPC. And someone will explain the acronym for me, huh, Scott? I know what they are, but I mean for the folks at home.
Sure, yeah, we'll do the acronym, yes.
Thank you.
Scott Davis, Thurston County Public Works, and I'm here asking for approval of an interlocal agreement with the Thurston Regional Planning Council, which is TRPC, for transportation and planning and technical services. And so we have interlocal agreements with many of the cities, and most of those are for maintenance and you know, kind of traffic type related services. So this is very similar to that, but it's for planning support activities. So Thurston Regional Planning Council provides transportation planning and technical services for all the member agencies, which is Thurston County, along with the City of Lacey, Olympia, Tumwater, and the cities in the southern part of the county as well. The intergovernmental contract is necessary to allow for this cooperation to occur. So examples of some of the work that they could do for us is traffic modeling, which is one of their specialties, mapping, transportation data analysis, transportation data storage, and other planning studies. The duration of this agreement is for 10 years, and individual scopes of services are negotiated at a separate time. And then, so one of the examples of one of the things that we'll be working with them, if this is approved, is we've been working on a connection study in the Gate Belmore Trail on the southern part of it, connecting to the Rochester and the Chehalis Tribe area. And so we've done a lot of the groundwork for that, including reaching out to stakeholders, but we haven't done the community outreach portion of it. And so as part of wrapping that effort up, we were looking to have Thurston Regional Planning Council assist us and be essentially an extension of staff to help us with that community outreach, and so we can wrap that effort up. So are there any questions?
Any questions, Scott?
No, sir.
No.
Nope. Thank you.
I would move to approve the interlocal agreement with Thurston Regional Planning Council for transportation planning and technical services for a period of 10 years.
Second.
Been moved and seconded to approve an ILA with TRPC for planning and technical services. Any further discussion?
No, sir.
Nope. Okay, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye, that motion carries. Thank you, Scott.
Thank you. Good afternoon.
4B is a road vacation. Craig? Yeah, watch your head on that thing.
Yeah, it'll be a doozy. I'm Craig Sisson. I'm the real estate manager for Thurston County Public Works. On April 23rd, 2019, the hearing examiner conducted a public hearing on the vacation of the county rights-of-way known as Scenic Lane Northeast, located between 4745 Scenic Lane Northeast and 9811 and 9835 Glacis Drive Northeast on the north side, and 4716 John Lure Road Northeast, 4715 and 4720 Scenic Lane Northeast on the south side in Olympia. This right-of-way was obtained by Thurston County as a tax title property on January 5th, 1981, recorded at Auditor's File Number 1132572, and was subsequently converted to right-of-way by quitclaim deed recorded at Auditor's File Number 4492299 on March 21st, 2016. This vacation was requested so the adjacent property owners can incorporate the right-of-way into their parcels. The hearing examiner concurs with the vacation request, satisfies all applicable criteria, and hearing no testimony in opposition to the application, recommends the Board of County Commissioners approve the requested vacation subject to payment of compensation. This action supports Initiative 8 of the county's strategic plan, support robust and well-maintained infrastructure systems for a thriving community.
Any questions?
No, sir.
Question, comments?
Just a comment that this was a new concept for me, and kind of following up on Commissioner Edwards' point, it's the normal process is we deal with it the Tuesday morning before the hearing, and then we touch base. But I know it was it was a week prior where we really dug into this and got a detailed explanation. So if people have questions, that's often the place to start, is the Tuesday morning before, the week before the actual hearing. This is pretty interesting and a good idea, so I'm glad we're moving forward on it.
Good, thank you.
I would move to approve a resolution adopting the recommendation of the hearing examiner to approve the request of Peter B. Field, Claire E. Toneberry, Edward H. Anderson, and Yvonne Stratton to vacate unopened county right-of-way known as Scenic Lane Northeast, subject to payment of compensation as described in Thurston County Code 1336030.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded to approve the road vacation as requested by Peter B. Field et al. Any further discussion?
No, sir.
All right, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion carries. Thank you, Craig.
Thank you.
Agenda item number 5, the county manager.
Yeah.
This is approval. of
Yeah, thank you,
board meeting.
Commissioners. Under normal circumstances, this item is on your consent agenda, but this proposal for your consideration is approving the work sessions of many days back in 2018. Considering the Commissioner Messer was not part of the commission at that time, then I would like you to exercise your vote, and perhaps Commissioner Messer will excuse himself.
Questions or comments?
The only thing I'd like to say is that this is a cleanup, kind of a technical cleanup issue involved over work sessions that we were in attendance to last year.
Yeah.
And we're just trying to get the records all straightened out and stay within the parameters set by the law.
Yep.
And allegedly, once we approve this, should we approve it, we won't be cleaning up any more from last year, will we?
I am not in the position to
We hope not.
concur on that statement,
Okay, no crystal
but that is
ball.
the objective.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, I would move to approve Board of County Commissioner work session summaries for April 11th, 2018, August 15th, 2018, September 6th, 2018, September 7th, 2018, December 6th, 2018, December 14th, 2018.
I second that. So it's been moved and seconded to approve the aforementioned work session summaries for 2018. Any further discussion?
No, sir?
All in favor say aye.
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 I'll
And those
abstain.
are approved. And one abstention?
Correct.
Got it. Thank you. Thank you for that. Now that takes us to Commissioner's report on the boards and such, and our activities for the week. And you want to start, Commissioner Edwards?
Oh, boy. I think I'll just say this was a week, last week would be consisted, short week actually, because on Monday we had numerous flag holiday celebrations and I attended those. But then the rest of the week really was pretty well consumed with environmental issues, mostly to do with fish and water, and conservation and ag activities. I'll just let it go at that.
All righty. Commissioner Menser.
Attended a couple of very nicely done Memorial Day events, as you did. The program at the Percival Landing for soldiers lost at sea was very touching, and I thought really nicely done. And then the bigger program at the Capitol Rotunda on Monday involving Lieutenant General, or one down, what is Lieutenant General?
I think Lieutenant General.
Yep.
Yeah,
Lieutenant General.
and our
Valesky.
that's right, and our Congressman Denny Heck, Cheryl Selby gave words, and Commissioner Hutchings was master of ceremonies there, and that was a good ceremony. I appreciated attending that. Only other thing I want to say is just intercity transit, which is where I sit on the board authority there, had some big news that there's a big conference in Kentucky, the 44th Annual International Rodeo, and it's an annual competition of driving skills and maintenance disciplines where transit agencies across the United States and Canada send their very best to compete. Our very own intercity bus driver, Rob Wood, was named the best bus driver in North America. Beat out 78 other competitors, and the maintenance team, which included Joe Bell, James Bush, and Grant Swedecki, also collectively took second place in the Grand Champion Team competition. And I want to just go a little further and say what this is. The drivers showcase their safe driving skills. They have a timed pre-trip vehicle inspection. Then they navigate 11 obstacles within 7 minutes in a 40-foot bus. And the Intercity Transit's maintenance team did 8 timed disciplines and took first place in the written test event and 13th overall. So it was a proud moment for Intercity Transit and our local transportation system.
Wow.
Could I make a comment on that, sir?
Certainly.
You know, we're pretty fortunate. We've got not only very well qualified folks working for transit, but those people actually guard our lives. As you know, a transit driver got shot up in King County protecting a whole busload of folks recently, and through his actions saved a lot of lives. So it's important to make note that our public servants really do serve the public in a lot of different ways.
Not to mention the, getting people to dialysis during snow events and
right.
all the other things that, yeah. That's it for me.
Do they just give an award? Is it like when you put it on a shelf? It's not a belt buckle.
I'm going to see it tomorrow night at the Intercity Transit meeting.
Almost like a steering wheel or something.
I'll report back.
Cool. Yeah.
I'll take a picture.
I'm just imagining cool stuff. It was a short work week, but boy, sure it felt like 2 weeks combined and compressed into one with all the weekend celebrations. I gave a speaking engagement to the VERG, our Veteran Employees Resource Group, on TBI and PTSD, and attended along with seatmates the Public Works Employee Recognition or Employee Appreciation Breakfast, our way of saying thank you to the employees of Public Works. They did 2 speaking engagements for our Take Your Kid to Work Day. The first one was at Juvenile Family Services, and then when I finished that one, and there was a lot of kids in attendance, and the afternoon one, there was a lot of kids here for different things that the kids were doing here with little passports and such. But after the Family Services court or building over there with all the kids there, I drove right the next block over to the coroner's office to see how many kids were there at Take Your Kids to Work Day, and the place was a ghost town. There was nobody there. Very interesting. As mentioned, I think it was mentioned, well, it was mentioned this morning at the work session, but I was able to MC our outreach with the MPA program at Evergreen State College on a water resource panel, and that was, I think, an hour and a half, 2 hours, something like that. It was pretty well attended. That was interesting. And then, like Commissioner Menser said, attended the Waterside Memorial Service for all those soldiers lost at sea. That's touching. That's very touching. And then Monday, Memorial Day, at the Rotunda, and at that ceremony, a Korean veteran and a Vietnam War veteran were awarded flags that had been flown over in France at the cemetery, their national cemetery.
Oh, wow.
And that was very touching, and they were very moved by that as well. Last Tuesday, I interviewed 13 middle school kids on civility. What is civility? What is it not? Not civility in politics, just general civility at school, at home, in the neighborhood, social media, whatever, just about civility. And I tell you what, these kids are brilliant minds, the stuff they had to say. And I used your line, Commissioner Edwards. They're 30% of the population, but 100% of our future. And I'm confident with these kids that we're in good hands. Then I attended the Tenino City Council meeting along with Rick Thomas and County Manager Romero Chavez, and presented on the courthouse project to City Council, as they consider a resolution of support. And it was well received anyway at that point. There were a lot of good questions. Met with Governor Inslee and the mayors of Olympia, Lacey, and Tumwater, and City Manager Steve Hall regarding the homeless issue and a request of the state in support of what our efforts are locally here. And the governor had some good questions as well, and we did some follow-up with the governor's staff. And that conversation is ongoing. I attended the Business Recognition Awards Gala that the EDC put on with various categories of small business, large business, first starter business, and various awards. And the county manager was there as well. I don't know if you guys attended. I don't remember if you attended or not.
Was there.
Oh, you were there. Okay. Commissioner Edwards, you were there. Thank you, sir, for attending. They just all blend together, you know. And our Thurston Mason Behavioral Health Organization was recognized and honored for the work that they're doing in the community as well. And that was nice to hear. Attended the Mayor's Gala in Lacey that supports the Lacey Veterans Services Hub. And there's no projection yet. So I guess there's a projection of anywhere about $50,000 that raised for the hub. But they won't know until today or tomorrow what the amount actually was. But it was a very well attended event. And again, Congressman Denny Heck spoke at that event. And then did a tour this last Saturday morning of the Olympia downtown mitigated site and the tiny villages. And there was a discussion beforehand and a discussion afterwards. The whole thing took about 2 hours. There is an outfit or a company out of Seattle that's doing a documentary. And they're doing this documentary, I don't know on whose behalf, but they're focusing on Aberdeen. So at this meeting, the Aberdeen fire and police chief attended, as well as Eric, I can't remember Eric's last name, the mayor of Aberdeen, and Commissioner Randy Ross attended from Grace Harbor, because they're tackling this issue holistically and rather than piecemeal as we have done in this county, but they're looking to us as to what can we do that will help us get along down the road quicker. And so that documentary is going to be coming out in sometime in August is the hope. But it was a good event. It really was. And so I look forward to seeing that. And then that evening, I was invited down to Tenino because they brought the Culpeper and Merriweather, or C&M, circus to town. It's the first time they had a circus in Tenino in about 20 years.
Wow.
And I was invited to be a guest ringmaster. And so, stop laughing. I went down and spoke and welcomed everybody for about 3 minutes or so, 4 minutes, and then I was done. And that was fun. A nice, cute little circus, and my son, daughter-in-law, and the grandkids came down. Then we went to Scotty B's afterwards and dropped a few pennies there at Scotty B's for dinner in Tenino. And then yesterday, Monday, June 3rd, was the Olympia Kiwanis Law Enforcement Officer of the Year program. This is our 21st year of doing this, and you were attending there. I saw you there. And I don't think you did it. Okay, got to keep it straight. And as I mentioned there, these are officers and sheriff deputy. And Brian Bowman was our corrections officer, our county deputy corrections officer that was awarded Officer of the Year. And a state patrol was awarded Officer of the Year. And the various jurisdictions in the county. They are picked among their peers, they're chosen among their peers for this award. So as I explained, that of all the people in America that test for law enforcement, only 30% pass the written exam. And then of that, only 10% are offered a job. And then of that 10%, after they're offered a job, then there's the polygraph and the psychological and the background. And then only 1% of all those that apply actually become police officers. And so of that 1%, you reckon that's the cream of the crop. And then to have an Officer of the Year selected by his or her peers, it's the cream picking the cream for that year. So it's very meaningful to have an officer awarded Officer of the Year, or Deputy of the Year, or State Patrol Officer of the Year. So that was a cool event. Again, it's the 21st year that Kiwanis has done that. The Kiwanians are great people when it comes to supporting law enforcement. And they have a law enforcement camp, Kiwanis Law Enforcement Camp, that goes on every, I think, July.
Where was that event?
Shelton.
The event,
the-
that's in Shelton, at the camp is in Shelton at the State Patrol Academy, but this event was at Tugboat Annie's, the local one. And other than that, then I think I slept most of Sunday, and then came back Monday. Thank you, sir.
Thank you, Commissioners. Let me walk you through in the next week's combined schedule, where at least 2 commissioners will be present. You may have individual appointments on your individual calendars, and that will not be part of my report. Beginning tomorrow, Wednesday, June 5th, 11:15 in the morning, you have the opportunity to welcome new employees in Thurston County. Thursday, June 6th, 9 in the morning, you have a briefing related to proposed rates for central services and information technology departments. 10 in the morning, you have your regular commissioners check-in, and I will be developing an agenda 24 hours in advance. At 3:30 in the afternoon, June 6th, you have a briefing related to the Thurston County Fair and Fairgrounds. Nothing on Friday, June 7th, and nothing on your combined schedule for Monday, June 10th. And then you will be coming back Tuesday, June 11th for the agenda setting, where all that good conversation happens at 9 in the morning. That's all I have for you.
Okay, thank you. Okay, I was just checking what you said about next week, and I was checking my calendar because I just verifying I was on track. Okay. Is there anything else for the good of the order?
No, sir.
Okay, then we're adjourned. Thank you.